Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. Coming up, I'll speak with men's cross country coach Brandon Spalding, field hockey captain Lexi Prochniak, and volleyball captain Ashleigh Meade. But we begin with a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Field hockey began ODAC play with a 3-0 home win over Roanoke. Football remained unbeaten in the conference by downing Ferrum 30-10, while both soccer teams recorded 7-1 victories over Emory and Henry, and volleyball swept Randolph. At the ITA Southeast Region Men's Tennis Championship in Fredericksburg, Harry Shepard and John Rudden paced the Generals with a quarterfinal appearance in doubles. And men's cross country placed 15th in a 40-team field at the Louisville Classic. I'm joined now by men's cross country coach Brandon Spalding. Brandon, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
The Louisville Classic is also known as Pre-Nationals. What are your takeaways from the Generals' performance there over the weekend?
I hate to say it was only a below average day. We had about 2 or 3 teams we really felt like we could match up well against, one of which being Connecticut College, who finished right in front of us. And then Trine and Mount Union were some teams that we thought we could get some victories against. The consolation prize is that we're going to see them again here in 2 weeks at Oberlin. So we certainly have a chance to make up some of those losses and compete with some other regionally ranked teams to put us in a good position for the postseason.
Give us a progress report on the W&L season so far.
We're staying consistent. For the most part, we're healthy. The guys are doing a great job and keeping our time gap 1 to 5 very close. Have some great first years with Connor, Tim, Kyle really stepping up and starting to fill some gaps for us. Overall, I'm pleased, and the focus is still on November.
You mentioned Oberlin earlier. You've got some runners going to Gettysburg in mid-October as well. Those are your final tune-ups before the ODAC Championship and the regional meet. What are your expectations for Oberlin Gettysburg?
So the last week in the regular season, we'll split up our team. We can only run our top 10 runners at Oberlin. We're only going to take 8, and then the other 7 will run at Gettysburg. It should be a great end of the regular season for both of our crews, whether it's top 7, whether it's non-top 7. Certainly, as I mentioned, the Oberlin meet holds a high level of importance for some regionally ranked teams, matching up against Loras in the Central, Wisconsin-Stevens Point in the Midwest, and then, as I mentioned, the Great Lakes teams of Trine and Mount Union. So we certainly have a great opportunity in front of us, and we're really excited to close out the regular season on a high note.
What are the keys to postseason success for W&L?
Certainly, as I mentioned, keeping our focus on November, trying to be as ready as we can for the ODAC Championships. It's a whole new year for us. Lynchburg's a lot better team, certainly something we need to be aware of as we go into ODAC Championships and even the region meet. But as I mentioned, we're staying consistent in our training. We need to stay healthy down the stretch, keep our tight 1 to 5 gap, and we should be in a good spot.
Brandon, thanks for joining us. Best of luck with the remainder of the year.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Here with me in the studio is Lexi Prochniak, senior field hockey captain from Orland, Pennsylvania. Lexi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
W&L opened up ODAC play with a 3-0 win over Roanoke at home on Saturday. How pleased were you with the team's performance against the Maroons?
Yeah, that was a great game. It's always awesome to win, and with it being a shutout, that made it even more exciting. We played really well. We came out really strong, really intense, really ready to play, and I think that really showed when we stepped on the field. We just kept going, and we were really strong the entire game. And we scored really early on, which really helped with our momentum. I thought that our passing patterns looked really good, and we were really anticipating where the ball was going to go next, and I think that was awesome. So it was a really exciting game for us and a really great way to start off ODAC play.
The Generals faced one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country. How much progress did the team make early in the season as you took on so many quality opponents?
Right, we had a very, very tough schedule at the beginning of the season, but I think that has proven to be extremely beneficial. We really showed that we could play really, really well against some of these really tough teams, and we had some big wins on the road. And even though we did have a lot of tough losses as well, we really improved game to game, and I think watching film, we could see our improvement, which was really exciting. But yeah, I think that not only did our gameplay improve and our team play improve, but we also gained a lot of confidence as well. And I think that we've seen what we can do when we come together and play as a unit. And I think that's a really great mindset to have going into the second half of our season where we play the ODAC teams.
Even given your strength of schedule, W&L is second in the ODAC in goals against average. Sarah Amel leads the conference or is among the leaders in a number of goalkeeping categories. What's been working well for W&L on the defensive end?
Right, so our defensive unit is very, very strong. We also just have a lot of depth, which is really exciting. Sarah's been playing amazingly well. And the thing with our defense is that we're very cohesive and we all really trust each other a lot, and we have a lot of confidence in each other, which is awesome. We communicate really well, and when we step on the field, I think that we really take control of the backfield, which is great. Technically speaking, we've had really good transfers and outletting, and our 1v1 defense has really improved, and our tackling timing has been good as well. And all of that coupled with a lot of speed in the defense and with our stick work, I think that makes us really strong.
What do the Generals need to do to maintain your momentum as you dive deeper into ODAC play?
Right. Well, I think that we just need to keep taking advantage of every opportunity on the field. We need to keep coming out to practice really intense and ready to play and ready to challenge each other. Our practices so far this season have been very dynamic and very game-like, and I think that that's definitely been really helpful in our performance and gameplay. And on top of that, we have a very close-knit team, and we're really tight on and off the field, and we have a really great team dynamic. And I think that we all really play for each other, and we have a very team-oriented mindset. And I think that's also really going to be critical to our success, to keep those close bonds. And we have a really exciting few weeks coming up, and I have a lot of confidence in us, and I'm really excited to see what we can do together as a team.
Lexi, thank you for joining us. Good luck throughout the rest of the fall.
Thank you.
Joining me now is Ashleigh Meade, senior volleyball captain from Bristow, Virginia. Ashleigh, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
We are just past the midway point of the regular season. Where are the Generals now versus where you want to be when the postseason begins in early November?
So we're in a great place, skill-wise, talent-wise. We have Bryn Gould, who's third in Division III volleyball with kills, which is awesome. But as far as intensity-wise, that is our main focus throughout the rest of the season, just maintaining intensity in practice and then carrying that over in our games.
W&L currently has 3 ODAC losses. That's more than any of you are accustomed to dealing with during the regular season. How can the Generals rebound, especially if you face one of those teams again in the conference tournament?
So the big thing that we've been working on in practice and we've started implementing in games is increasing our second contact tempo. So we're just really trying to speed up our side of the court, catch the other team off guard. And in the past, we've run a bit slower of a tempo, and I think teams have scouted against that and at some points use that to our disadvantage. So we're trying to step up our play. And like I mentioned earlier, we're also trying to work on increasing our intensity in our games.
The Generals' non-conference schedule gets progressively tougher. 10 of your final 12 regular season games are away from home. You've got trips to Christopher Newport and Emory coming up. What are the Generals' goals for the final stretch of the regular season?
Every single practice that we have, our goal is to improve. Every single game that we have, our goal is to improve. Our main focus for the rest of the season is the last 3 days, the ODAC tournament. So we just want to improve by the time we reach that, and we want to be at our peak performance by the time that we get there. So that's gonna take a lot of things. That's gonna take, like I mentioned, increasing our tempo, increasing our intensity, but it's also gonna take a lot of communication, and we really have to play 20 as one moving into the ODAC tournament.
Regardless of what's happened so far against the ODAC, you're still the defending conference champions. Will that give the team a boost of confidence as you look ahead to what's left on the ODAC schedule and the conference tournament?
So it's definitely reassuring to know that we come from such a strong program, but every single season is a different season, every single game is a different game, and every single tournament is a different tournament. So we come into every game with the same mindset that every team is out to get blood, every team is out to beat us, and our goal going into the tournament is just to play our best, reach that max point that I talked about, continue improving, and we're reassured in our ability, but there's no doubt that it's going to be a challenging tournament coming up, and we're excited to take it.
Ashleigh, thank you for being here. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you, Jeremy.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Women's cross country travels to Charlotte for Queen's University's Royals XC Challenge. The swimming teams open up their season this weekend, starting with a dual meet at Mary Washington on Friday evening. W&L will then play host to the ODAC relays on Saturday. Field hockey continues ODAC play with the road contest against Eastern Mennonite. Volleyball travels to St. Mary City, Maryland for matches against Southern Virginia and the host Seahawks. Women's soccer visits Sweetbriar, and men's golf will compete in the VSGA Intercollegiate in Christiansburg. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.